City Morning Show.
A most pleasant morning as the promo ends there and says Sugar City Morning Show. A pleasant morning going out to everyone out there in TV land, waking up bright and early to this brand new beautiful morning, this brand new beautiful day. Welcome to the Sugar City Morning Show. My name is Robert Checky Usher. Hoping you're doing fine. Hoping you're waking up and ready for this brand new beautiful morning, this brand new beautiful day to day. As we say hello to everyone across the country and also hello to everyone out the world. Everyone watching us on our social media platform. We say good morning to you all and welcome to the show. We have a lot to discuss this morning, but we will be starting off with a special prayer on this great Wednesday morning. We should be having Minister Aragon coming in this morning. That will be around 7:15. He should be here around 7:15. Minister Aragon should be here today, and we will be discussing relevant information when it comes to his ministry and the East as well, and we will be asking him some security questions, and if there's anything that he can report that came out of the virtual cabinet meeting that was slated for yesterday, then we will try to see if we can get some of that information. While we await Delve, we want to say good morning to everyone there in PG. Good morning to you all today. Also, Placentia, Mango Creek. Hello to everybody in those areas, the entire Toledo district, the entire Stan Creek district. We usually include Sean Bite. Yeah, Sean Bite. Nicely village, when you're going to Placentia as a pass through Sean Bite, for I understand Sean Bite develop one lot too. Placentia, Mango Creek. Good morning to you all in that area. Everybody that is watching us. Griga, Brother David. Good morning, my brother. I like it. Not ready hype on people thing. You don't do what they do forget it. What's up? You don't know what they got you if you keep it. Keep it real, my brother. Keep it real. That's the real world. We say also good morning to our folks there in Belmopan, San Ignacio, Santa Elena. Good morning, Benke Sokots. Good morning, Mr. Donis. Good morning to everyone in that area listening, waking up this morning to a very bright, beautiful Wednesday, right? Yeah, it's Wednesday. A little coffee break, I have to take Natalie Cafe de Vita, bright and early in the morning. Belize City, good morning also. San Pedro, Kikaka, everyone out there, Orange Walk, Corozal. We say hello to you all. Hoping you're doing fine. Folks, many things has been happening in our country of lately. I'm seeing that many persons, when it comes to music, when it comes to production, when it comes to broadcasts on social media and different platforms, we can see how many persons have been productive doing all these great work. We can see how strong we are as Belizeans, how productive we are, but it happened in this state of emergency. And let's hope that all these productiveness will continue, because it's good, man. It's very good. We can see they show some videos from some kids doing some funny things, and it's good that parents have been home and have been with the kids. But nevertheless, folks, we do what we can do, and then, like we say, we want to commend you all. But meantime, we await Delve. We will be going into the Belize Met service for today's weather forecast and the general situation for today, May 13, 2020. This one came in at 5:30 this morning. Let me just make sure that the volume is down on this. This came in at 5:30 this morning, and the general situation, generally fair weather prevails. The 24-hour forecast. Sunny with cloudless spells today, partly cloudy skies tonight. Showers will be isolated. All right, power savings coming on. And the winds are blowing east to southeast at 5 to 15 knots. The sea state light chop. There's no advisories, alerts, or watches for today, so we're good. The temperature in the coast at 87, inland will be 93, and in the hills that 81. So like we say, no advisories, no alerts, no watches. The outlook for Thursday and Thursday night, the say showers or thunderstorms will be isolated, except for a few over the south on Thursday afternoon. So no people here, if you want to wash up, wash up today. Low tide this morning at 8:10. A high tide follows at 2:13 this afternoon. Another low tide at 10:08 tonight, and a low tomorrow morning at 4:34. See the sun to come out early in the morning, no. So then wake up 6 o'clock, and so the sun don't come out. Place bright already. The sun come out 5:21 this morning and will set at 6:17. 13 hours of sun. Good. That is very good. And the moon will set today at 11:05 this morning, and it will rise at 12:23 tomorrow morning. We thank Francisca Wellington, the forecaster there, and everybody else that works at the Belize Met Service. We thank you all for your service that you give us every day, and not only us, but all over the country. You know, when people want to come to Belize, people check the weather. We see what the weather is like. So thank you all so much for your great work that you have been doing and that you continue doing there at the Belize Met Service. Want to say good morning to our friends there in Maxboro. How things do go on at Maxboro? How things, bro? Everything good or what? You move, you there at standstill. We were made to understand that it looks like the hotels are opening, should be opening sometime by, I think by this weekend, but there is still restrictions, you know. We understand that some of the hotels that have their restaurants as well will be able to service us, but we still have to wait and see how far that will go. But I believe the minister will have some information on that when the minister comes in this morning. So that is good news. That is good news because, you know, apart from the health sector, the health issue, which is the most important one, that's the most important one in all this. Apart from that, you know, the economic situation of the country has went down drastically. It has went down drastically. And you know, what the government is doing and what they have done is to try to see how they can meet all their commitments when it comes to payment. You know, like they made that press conference, and they were saying that at that press conference they will try to see how they can help Belizeans, you know, persons who have lost their employment due to the COVID-19. And the first ones that was pronounced on that was the persons that work in the tourism sector, but maybe at that time they never really realized that this thing may get so tough until the first case, then the second case, then other cases start coming in, and we had other measures, other restrictions, and so we had to have lockdown, curfew, locking down on Sundays, people can't go work, so more people were out of jobs, so it went up, that unemployment threshold went up very high. So what happens now? The government has done its part, help as much. I know somebody will apply, I think it was the second or the third date. Just get the text yesterday, get the PIN card, PIN number, and they access it. They got some people will just apply right before it closes, and they get already. So maybe it's working in a sequence, you know. But the PM said that they will do their best to make sure that everybody who applies will get that relief. You'll get the relief, but it's just a matter of time. The system, remember that the first time Belize they go through something like this, you know, first time, and they had all the professionals, they have the economic czars there, they had persons from different organizations, and those are the ones who decided, okay, let's do it this way for more transparency. They are channel it through Social Security, but like all of us know, Social Security has nothing to do with it that say, if you get, or that one get, or this one I get, or that one no one get. The only thing Social Security has to do is to issue your card, and when they send your approval to them, they make sure that money go to your bank account. But sometimes you might get an approval, and when they say it has been sent to Social Security for payment, this is the one thing we need to realize. When it has been when it approved, then people not check your financial status when it comes to the bank, if your banking information is right. So when they decide to send that through, maybe something wrong, maybe one lead number, you know, they have the 612 or 614 or 512. Some of the bank only code the front. Some people put it like 640. Like Belize Bank is 640. I don't know if you have to put in the 640 and all the other numbers, because it's a long list of numbers. But it starts with the 640. The 640 gives you the branch. Like if Orange Walk is 640, then the bank in Ladyville will be a different number. So it could be some of that issue. I don't know if the other banks have it like that as well, but the Belize Bank, Orange Walk is 640. Then San Ignacio will be a different number. So when there are people ready to disperse these funds to your bank account, then they might say, oh, something happened, something went wrong. Maybe the bank account never in your name. Maybe your bank account, when you do it maybe they have a different spelling, a lot of things. And when it comes to finances, when it comes to transferring of finances, they just can't transfer finance to an account if it's not accurate. Have to make sure that it is accurate. So that might be some of the keep back to. And then like some away what we do, we don't have bank account, so we give somebody else bank account. And when that reaches a social, that's why I have the delay. When it reach there and I try send it in, there is no bank account for you, because when I say, okay, I'm transferring this funds to Robert John, you know, and the number is 640-889 or whatever it is, and when they go on the computer and try to transfer it, Robert John does not have an account in his name. The account is in somebody's name. They send the correct account with the person name, but the account is not for you. So maybe the account, all right, everything they in a shape, but the account is not in your name. Okay, I see you have, yeah. We will be on the East Radio this morning. Yeah, so it is 104.9. That's will be on the East Radio this morning. So the persons that have to leave home to work, we'll be having the minister coming on, and then we will be live on the East Radio. So that will be 104.9. But folks, you know what? We'll be discussing more of how you can get some clarity. But somebody told me that they went to Social Security and they were able to obtain their PIN, because I think they diverted them to Heritage Bank, and Heritage Bank could have helped them, and there was a number too. And then right now, you know, Heritage they are doing a little raffle as well. I think it's $100 a week when you use the card to purchase. There is participating stores that accept the Heritage card, the Heritage card. So you got your money upon it, you could go buy that place instead of take out money for your pocket, you could use it. I don't know if the utility companies, like the water, the phone, and the light, and the cables, I don't know if they really take the Heritage one, because you know they have Heritage, and got Belize Bank, they have Atlantic Bank, they got all different banks that have credit cards. So you have to look at the sign that says we accept Heritage, or go to the cashier before you go by and tell them, hey, I have this card, do not accept this card, yeah? And if they tell you, they accept it, tell them, but I don't get my PIN number yet, I could still use the card. The card was sent to me, but I don't really get my PIN number yet. And they will tell you if you can use it or not. So, I could try differently things and see how you work. It's 17 minutes after 7 o'clock. And folks, we have the minister is here already. As always, you know, when he makes his commitment, he makes sure that he makes his time to be here. And that is exactly what is happening today. So we'll be taking a break right here this morning. And we'll be back right here. When we come back, we'll be having Minister Aragon right here on North Television, Channel 10.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
John Briceño says government needs to trim the fat. Let's take a minute to look at that fact.
Johnny Briceño receives a salary of $60,000 from the government to be the leader of the opposition and $84,000 for sports and community projects in his constituency. The People's United Party representatives receive about $993,000 annually from government to assist residents of their constituencies.
Since the COVID-19 state of emergency, the Prime Minister of Belize has given all his salary toward the relief efforts. The UDP ministers has given up a month's salary and allowances going forward. Johnny Briceño has not agreed to give up anything. The PUP representatives have not agreed to give up anything.
Leadership is about action, not words.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. DigiNet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, DigiNet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by DigiNet. DigiNet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega and Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Corozal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Sartaneja? Why is it that we have to take $50 million to invest in an area where we do not have a political directorate? We believe that as a government, we have to provide a service to all Belizeans.
Well, this for the village of Chunosh is a big advantage both ways. Sometimes when we got sickness, we got people sick at the clinic there, women. When we reach at the ferry, can't pass, 45 minutes have to wait. So now this road will benefit whole village, Chunosh, Sartaneja, and Copperbank. I'm part of Progreso too. Well, it's really important for us.
I know that our village is not so much developed with tourism because it's a remote village. And for that reason, we don't have a lot of tourism over there. But now with this upgrading of the road and the pavement of the road, I think that it will be much beneficial for us and for everybody.
More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward. The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una.
Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el...
¿Balancín? Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche-France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche-France.
The ongoing technological evolution constantly transforms the way we live our lives. The introduction of our national fiber network creates the opportunity for Belizeans to live the digital lifestyle. Today, Digi is proud to introduce Dana, Belize's first artificially intelligent automated assistant. Dana is the modern customer service experience. Available 24/7, Dana can provide Digi prepaid and postpaid customers with directory information, credit and plan balances, product and promo information, and more. Just talk to Dana. Want to check your credit balance? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, what's my credit balance?
New Digi promotions? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, any new Digi promotions?
Dial 113 for directory assistance and dial 119 to talk to Dana. Digi remains committed to introducing the latest in cutting-edge technologies. Transforming Belize, one technology at a time. Try Dana today.
Thank you for calling Digi Customer Service.
Someone come? Yes, someone coming. Let's go. Sa. Fastest question of the day. Why you the letter?
Who sent me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this here community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you do it too?
No, man, no.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the we environment.
So all of that? Well, now that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega and Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Sugar City Morning Show.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. The time now is exactly 7:30. Promises are being made to keep and comply and not to be broken. But when we talk about Minister Aragon, it's not promise, it's commitment, and he committed to be here, and he's here today. So good morning, Minister.
Morning, Checky, and of course, good morning to all our radio listeners who are tuning in to us through East Radio 104.9, and of course to all of our viewers on Channel 10, and of course to all our wonderful people in Orange Walk East. I want to say a pleasant good morning, and it's a pleasure being here, Checky,
Yes,
a wonderful day,
yes.
This the sun is out and it's nice.
Yeah, I would like to commend yourself and the personnel from the East Radio for the Mother's Day program that they did on Sunday. Good morning, Dav. I like hear the keyboards, everything was nice, and to hear the persons participating and winning Minister, it was a good thing to give back. We don't have a lot to give right now, but at least, the mothers, they enjoyed the program,
Well, Checky, I'll tell you, Mother's Day has always been it is and always will be a special day for me, in terms that I think it's a very important day for us as a nation and as a people to remember the mothers in this country, because no matter what people say, listen, I always believe that when you have good upbringing, when you have a good society, a lot has to do with the mothers, because it's the mothers who take the blunt of the work at home. They take the blunt of the work in terms of caring for the children and the upbringing of kids. Mm-hmm. And I do think that we must always honor our mothers, and pay that tribute to them, because at the end of the day, they have done a tremendous task for our communities across this country. And I think that for me, it's always been a special day. I personally don't have my mom around again, but I know that it is important. And every year I've done something for Mother's Day. Every year I try to reach out personally to my constituents, especially to all the mothers out there. This year, we had a serious challenge in terms of the fact that we have this COVID-19 situation, so we couldn't organize a public event, and moreover, in terms of trying to find the funding to reach out to every person at home. You know, well, it's not easy because, you know, I could tell you this for a fact that when you look at getting funds, it's quite difficult. I know it's tight out there for people right now, and it's tight for everybody. By putting, for instance, like I told you last time, we in the East, we organize pantries, and we don't give small pantries, you know, we give, I think, reasonable size pantries, anywhere between $25 to $30 worth of goods, you know. But you put that together and you add up the number of packages you give out, you spend, I mean, tremendous amounts of money. People don't know. You know, we spend upwards to the last set of goods that we give out to close to $30,000 worth of goods, and it's, you know, that has to come somewhere, whether it comes from people who support you, whether it comes from your own financial and personal finances. That at the end of the day, it adds up, and it, you know, this year I couldn't deal with in terms of affording to do a personal thing that I always do for Mother's Day, but nevertheless, we did a Mother's Day program on the East Radio. We teamed up along with East Radio, and we were able to do something on Sunday, you know, and I want to, like you said, we need to big up the guys, Dave and Ellie and all of them that went out there, you know, to do a number on the radio for the mothers. And of course, you know, I wish the best for mothers to have a wonderful Mother's Day, you know. And of course, I know that families across this country took the time out, kids, you know, or their siblings, they took time to come together for mothers, you know. And I know Belizeans, I know they do something for their moms. So, you know, but at the end of the day, Checky, you know, for me, it's always reaching out to mothers. And, you know, this year, well, we did it through East Radio. And definitely, we are always here for you all.
Well, that is very commendable, Minister. And like I said, the program was good, a lot of participation. But, you know, they have some persons that, you know, it's all over, Minister, that we are hearing that persons haven't received their PIN number, they haven't received their card, and I know they work for this time. But when it comes to people losing their jobs, that not happen to one person.
Yeah, no.
Happen all across, you know.
Right.
All across, and the system, because they got some people would just apply right before it was closed, and they get already. They got some person will apply for the first day with a tourism, and then they'll get that. It's just a matter of the system. But like the PM said, they got some people who try smart out the system, and then you know, sometimes it's wrong banking information, because when it goes to Social Security, they say your payment has been sent to Social Security, your name has been sent to Social Security for payment, and then probably when the Social Security check that, if you see a send it in an account, maybe one lead number may wrong on the account, or maybe got somebody else's account. So that when the delays they come in, but losing your job is tough, but it's the entire country that went through that, except when it comes to the teachers and the public officers, you know.
Right.
So it's a challenge for everybody.
Of course, it's a challenge, Checky. You know, I've sat down and really looked at the impact that this COVID-19 is having in our economy, and it's not something easy, you know. A lot of people might figure, well, we're still there and that, but the tremendous impact it has had on tourism. Just look at the tourism sector. You know, we have no foreign reserves coming in from tourists flying into this country. We used to have planes line up at the tarmac coming in with people.
I know.
Right now, we don't have that, so the amount of foreign revenue, it's in the millions of dollars that this country is losing. Every day we don't have tourism, we are losing money.
Hello, good morning. Sugar City Morning Show.
Buenos días. Quería hacer una pregunta al ministro.
Okay.
Es que hace 2 semanas yo conseguí mi mercancía en tu store, pero ahora no sé si con el mismo código yo puedo regresar a People Store a buscar, porque es cada 2 semanas, ¿verdad?
No, la ayuda de provisión te tienen que mandar un código. No es automáticamente cada 2 semanas, ¿no?
Oh, okay.
Ellos tienes que ellos te deben de ver. Como te digo, es de parte del Ministerio de Human Services, Human Development. Ellos te van a dirigir en si lo consigues otra vez o no.
Oh,
no, la mejor respuesta para ti es puedes chequear con Human Development a ver si cualificas para conseguir la ayuda otra vez, ¿no?
Ya está abierta la oficina, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
the office
bueno,
is
muchas
open.
gracias.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, because, you know, Minister...
And that's a good question. I think
Yes.
a lot of people want to know. I've gotten the provision one time when I applied. Am I automatically qualified? The answer is no. You are not automatically qualified. Human Development will look at it and then decide if you really need the help again, then they will give it to you. You must understand a lot of people who were, you even have some public servants who apply for that kind of help.
Yeah.
You know, and things like that. So the ministry has to sift through these things and ensure that they're hitting their targets in terms of those most in need. You know, so I know these are some of the challenges. Like I said, that lies with Human Development, the Ministry of Human Development. I can't really tell you who are the people directly involved, etc., because I really don't know. You know,
Yeah.
But that, like I said, it has been. They have kept things away from the ministers, the representatives. You know, they have done this independently. I think the Prime Minister had asked that is the way it should be run, out of the hands of the politicians or the representatives, so we don't have politics seeping into this thing. And they have done so, you know, and so I ask people, they have to check with Human Development. In terms of the PIN number that you were talking about earlier, Cheki, definitely they have to follow up with the, I don't even know the people involved, but there are people who are on the oversight committee or the task force. I don't know which group is dealing with the issuing. I think it's the Ministry of Finance or whoever, in terms of where these monies are sent to your account.
Yeah.
Some people have gotten the first tranche. As far as I know, in terms of the financial assistance, once you have been approved, then you should receive, continue every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If that is not happening, then they really need to check into it and call the numbers and find out what is the situation. No?
Yeah, people, persons have been wondering. Why, Rahim, you could please check some of the shops in Orange Walk that received the heritage card. Somebody asked me about
and
it.
that card, Cheki, that they get, that card is not to be disposed of, you know. That card is where the money will be deposited on that card account through this process. So people cannot lose their PIN, they can't lose their card, because that is the way they will access that fund.
Yeah, you were talking about tourism, because right now, at this hour right now, if the country was not locked down like this, the airport would have been packed right now. The borders would have been busy. A lot of tourists coming from through Guatemala, through Mexico, as well, and the airport would have full right now. Like sometime, Minister, they got 5-6 planes on the ground at the airport.
Yeah.
You know? Right now, how many
The airport
tourists?
would have packed,
Yeah.
you know.
How many tourists better have breakfast at some of those restaurants across
and
the
stuff.
country?
Right.
So people might wonder, but why? Why is it that it's one of the biggest income for government?
It is because our tourism sector is huge. San Pedro make their livelihood out of tourism.
Yeah.
And so when you look Cayo, all over the country we have tourism. We have hoteliers who cater to tourist restaurants, all of these things. So tourists brings money in terms of spend money here, etc., and they help in terms of creating that foreign revenue for government, the spending that circulates within our economy, local economy and things like that. So when you look at all of these things now with this COVID-19, that has been impacted because we did a zero. We're not got no tourists in this country right now, you know. There's none except for maybe 1 or 2 foreigners who have decided to spend their time here. But apart from that, there's nobody coming in here, going to the hotels in San Pedro, and you know, you got hotels booked right now. Hotels are empty in San Pedro. That paints only the picture that showing the millions of dollars that the government loses on a daily basis due to the fact that we don't have tourism. And it is not small. Tourism accounts for a large percent of our foreign revenue in this country.
That's worldwide, right?
And that's worldwide. And so we have been impacted tremendously. And now feel like, all right, everybody take one lick, because of course you have people who have been laid off for a month. Some of them are going back to work right now. Some people have been pay have been cut half, half, and they are still working, but they have been cut in half. Others were trickle half of the various industries out there, the work, etc. All of that have come to a stop because or slowed down. So that in turn has slowed down the amount of monies that the government collects, You know, because the government, how government operates through the money that it collects. And when you don't have no money coming in, then how will you pay out too?
Yeah.
And remember, government has a tremendous financial responsibility in terms of paying teachers, public servants across this country. You talk about every 2 weeks when they make the payment, it's in the millions of dollars.
Wow.
You understand me? So government must keep paying those things, and has been paying. Teachers never get a cut in a salary, not a day. They never get no reduction in salary. You know, I know there's right now it's the PSU right now, if I'm not mistaken. They're asking that they want the increments, or at least make it be deferred. To me, personally, it's a tough call. And I know if government had the money, we'd have give it to them. But I know that government is strapped for cash right now, Cheki.
Yeah.
You are losing millions and you still pay out millions. And that
understand.
can't work. You have to have a balance so that things can work. And I think the government has made a declaration that we will not retrench anybody. We're not fire nobody from public service, but we can't hire nobody new right now. You know, and that is the challenge. But how do you continue paying people your full staff, then full payments, but then you have to now look at an increment and give increment, which an increment is in the millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You understand? And that is like a raise pay. You can't give a raise pay during this time. Everybody has taken a lick, from the ordinary man on the street, whether you need chopping and hustling, to the man, the businessman, and to people who are to be laid off. Everybody has taken a cut some way or the other, you know.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody, including ministers, because like I said, we give up a month's salary. We have already, our allowances have been cut by 50% indefinitely. So the thing is that everybody has taken a lick on this thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I think at the end of the day, I commend the Prime Minister in saying that we will not retrench anybody. But I know the task that he had, because he have to still shell out millions of dollars in terms of ensuring that he can cover public servants across this country.
But
you know,
the situation that the country is in right now, when we talk about the largest earner in the country, about the tourism, but the government decided to go the other way and look at the safety and the health before anything else.
Yes,
right?
and I think it, and that was a good call. I mean, that right now Belize is one of 12 countries across this globe, you know, across the world, that can say that we don't have any cases at this point in time. And that speaks volumes of the kind of efforts that we have done. And I think that any day, if we would have left it open like Mexico and other countries and not worry about it and say, right now we wouldn't be able to handle the amount of people dying in this country. We have a lot of people who have secondary issues in terms of health, like diabetes, high hypertension, you name it. There are issues in this country where people suffer, especially those people of age.
True,
And so if the government wouldn't have done what it did, the virus, man, they're all over this country right now.
Money may have the circle, but people...
Well, when the money never made the circle neither, because America has locked down, basically.
True.
You know, and Mexico has now locked down. Guatemala has now kind of locked down. So we would have suffered in terms of our healthcare system, in terms of lives, and still we are still there where we're there right now.
Yeah.
You know, I think that the steps, like last time we spoke, the leadership of this government, what it has done in terms of how it has dealt with this COVID-19 situation, I think it speaks volumes of the kind of leadership that this country has. And I think that it serves to show the resilience of our Belizeans across this country, because I'll tell you, government could not have done it alone. It had to be done with the kind of resilience and cooperation that we get from our citizens. You know, I think that speaks volumes of the Belizean people. We touched on that last time. I mean, I feel proud of our Belizeans across this country, because I mean, we have one nation who people are concerned, people cooperate, people come together, sacrifice together, you know, because it calls for sacrifice. You know, a lot of the things that you used to do, you can't do now. And so I think that overall Belize has done a spectacular job together, working together. And I think that it goes to show that when we come together in crisis and we stick together and we follow through, great things come about. And today we can say we are one out of 12 nations across this country.
Yeah.
Across the globe who does not have a case.
Yeah, we have a text message says, "Good morning to the minister. The 21st of April, I received $100. They will text me for the second payment. Say I'm not working, but thanks."
All right, so, and I know government is reaching out. I think Carla Barnett, who is the point person in terms of the distribution or the working in terms of trying to budget the monies that are available, that have been made available in terms of people getting the financial assistance. I think she always reports in terms of how much people have applied, how many people have gotten, how many people have gotten the first time, the second time. And I think she's doing a tremendous task with the people she has. It's not easy, you know, Checky.
Yeah.
For deal and sift through all these applications.
She was looking at 20,000 first. You know,
right now it got up to what, about 60 or 90,000. I remember how much applicants.
82,000. It's a big up Minister Aragon for the great job he has been doing through this pandemic time. Thank you for the assistance you are taking home to home, and may God continue blessing and give you wisdom to continue working and helping the people.
Yeah, man. Well, we always say, you know, because I'll tell you, Checky, you know, when this thing started, I already knew that people would have been affected, and I looked to those who were most in need, because I will tell you, yes, everybody have needs, Checky, but there are people who are less fortunate than you, people who not even, they get fired or they never had a job in the first place, and we catch them. They never qualify for getting any help, and so they're out there without nothing. These are the people I tend to try to reach out first, and of course as we progress, we try to widen the gap, because we know that more widen the reach to people, because at the end of the day everybody needs, you know. And you don't know what is happening in people's homes, you know. And but it's not easy either, because the reality is you can't reach to every single person.
And everybody you go to
have one need. Everybody have a need. So it has been a challenge, but we are still out there doing what we can with what we have, you know.
Minister, on that note, we will be taking a break. It's 7:49, 11 minutes away from 8 o'clock. We are live on the East Radio this morning and Norte Television Channel 10. Minister Aragon and Robert Cheque Usher will be back after these messages right here on Norte Television Channel 10.
The sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longanisa, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico. World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. Our new basketball and multi-purpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking, plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
John Brisena says government needs to trim the fat. Let's take a minute to look at that fact.
Johnny Brisena receives a salary of $60,000 from the government to be the leader of the opposition and $84,000 for sports and community projects in his constituency. The People's United Party representatives receive about $993,000 annually from government to assist residents of their constituencies.
Since the COVID-19 state of emergency, the Prime Minister of Belize has given all his salary toward the relief efforts. The UDP ministers has given up a month's salary and allowances going forward. Johnny Brisena has not agreed to give up anything. The PUP representatives have not agreed to give up anything.
Leadership is about action, not words.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. DigiNet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, DigiNet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by DigiNet. DigiNet Boost, now available countrywide.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's now exactly 4 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Minister, I'm going to talk about the economic situation. Last week when the Prime Minister spoke, he was saying that when they had the first meetings and pronouncement that some countries were sending aid to Belize, but he mentioned that some of the contribution not reach it.
Yeah. Well, everything is a process, I mean, everything takes time. I know that definitely we had some external agencies who committed, and I must also add that the Prime Minister really goes out there trying to see how he can get some of those monies to come in, you know, or divert some of these monies to come to the support of this COVID response. And it's not easy, you know, and it takes it's a process. It takes time, you know. But nevertheless, I know that they are at the Ministry of Finance and the Prime Minister. They are doing their best in terms of how to manage the finances. And I could tell you, listen to me, you don't have to be no rocket scientist. You don't have to be no major accountant or man of finances. The mere fact that we had so many tourism coming, and I don't have the numbers, but I know it goes in the hundreds of thousands of visitors every year to this country. All of these are not happening right now. You have nobody in this country spending their dollars on tourism, and that means it is impacting the whole chain of event within this tourism industry. And we are talking, we're not talking about a little bit of money, you know, we are talking in the millions of dollars. Yeah. So it has an impact. Definitely, if you make use of this money coming in, and that money goes towards the coffers of government in terms of being able to use that money for elsewhere. Right now, that's not happening. So you can't say, well, when I get this money from tourism, I'll put it there. That's not happening.
Yeah, and finances from the cruise ship used to go to the city council.
Exactly. So you got tourism is tremendous in this country, man. You don't talk about the cruise ships that come in or people who fly in. You have people who travel through. You name it. Yeah. All of that local tourism, whatever you might say, well, local tourism is small, but it is still there. It is still something. It adds up. Yeah. And when you combine all of these things, you're talking about a good chunk of support financially that this country makes for tourism. But that is not here now. It's not operating now to that effect. So that is why you look at the government trying to move in terms of moving the local economy, and you start with the local tourism and all of these things. So, I mean, like I say, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know, scientists for know that, this have an impact. It has an impact when you can see it simply within our tourism industry, and not talk about the rest of industries, jobs affected you. It has affected and impacted everything financially.
Yeah.
You know?
This text is coming in here. Say, good morning, Mr. Usher and Honorable Aragon Minister. I have great hope that we will all overcome this pandemic. One country, one Belize. Javier Manzanero Sr. from the capital of Belize, Belmopan.
All right. And we will, you know, I am confident we will, just as a representative, as a citizen of this country, I am confident that we will overcome this. We have done, I tell you, we are one of 12 countries we don't have one case. That speaks volumes of the leadership of this country. It speaks volumes of the people of this country. So I'm confident we are going to overcome this. But to overcome this is not over yet. It is not for say, all right, well, we're done with the COVID-19, let's carry on. That is not the situation. You look at what is happening in Mexico, in the United States, in Guatemala. They have a lot of cases. You know, so and we are dependent as a nation on tourism to a large extent. So you're looking at what is happening in the U.S. is impacting us. What is happening in Mexico is impacting us, and so is Guatemala. Yeah, so true. It is not that we say we don't close off, all right, let's get back to normal. No, they want stage getting there and to get our economy back on stream, everything moving. I mean, they're not like that. That's not happening overnight. It's going to take some time. Just like in terms of tourism, we have to get the airlines to come back and bring people. People have to decide they and travel now. When I talk from here to tomorrow, it's talking about months for make we get this thing back, make we kick up to gear. So but during this time, you still have to find the finance to deal with public servants, to deal with the expenses of government, etc.
I want to bring it down power more layman term, Minister. It's like an athlete. An athlete they play, you get hurt bad. You go to hospital, stay there for one time, and a team really need this person, and the doctor say, you know what? They release you from the hospital. So that update for her. But you can't go play right now. You have to wait until you heal good. So not because of the take you out, everything is clear.
Yeah.
You need to take care of yourself, then leave it by leave it. So Belize have to move leave by leave it. But then, since we are COVID free, many people want to come to Belize.
Yeah.
Because I say, well, Belize free, Belize clean, let's go to Belize.
Yeah.
Is there, if there's anything set in the measures that, okay, if time that we're open Belize, when it comes to healthcare, like testing persons to come in, maybe cruise ship might want to come and airports might open. And I don't know right now, but anything discussed?
Well, definitely.
Already?
Of course, I think I'm sure people are looking at that. I know the Department of Health Services. I know government. I know everybody who is in these areas who are concerned about the economy. I mean, we have to look at how we go down the road with tourism. But for right now, I'm sure that we can't see in the next couple of days when we open up the borders. I mean, I think that is a touchy situation. It has to be done properly. I'm sure that they are looking right now in terms of testing kits, what is out there to, if and when that time comes, how we screen people properly and all of that. And right now, I can't say that is happening right now until certain things are put in place. Once that is done, then I could say that is happening. And I think what the government is doing right now is looking at how they open the local economy for our own Belizeans, to be able to maybe go to hotels, to restaurants, move the lead tourism locally, and get our economy locally. And then from there, we look how we open the borders. And we expect, because we can't just say we're open borders for what? If we are not prepared on how we manage this thing, So I think it will take some time. It will take proper planning and preparation for this to come about.
Local tourism minister, all we know, like let's look at Easter. When Easter comes, a lot of people, they head across the borders, different places, because of the cost of the accommodation and everything. Do you know with the local tourism, if the one was stay at a hotel and so, prices will be adjusted?
Well, I'll tell you this, it's only proper business sense. If I got a hotel with 100 rooms and all of them empty, you don't think if we were that I could say, check it, boy, come over the weekend, man, spend the weekend here with your family.
Nice package.
And you get a nice package and cut it down to 50. It is better that I make 50% than not to make nothing. And I think that Belizean hoteliers and people who are in the tourism business understand these things. And so I'm confident these things will occur. Like I said, and I'm not something where anybody could pick up themselves right now and say, well, I'm going for a leave vacation, because again, that costs money. And things that we are not at that point where you could say everybody, well, a lot of people have spent their little savings, their little resources, because this thing has hit hard, and it has affected everybody. I don't think there's one person out there who could say, well, I never get affected. Everybody has been affected to a certain extent.
Even the business establishment.
Everybody.
How this thing will work with them? With the restaurants, and also somebody asked if the churches will be if the churches are open. How you work with the restaurants and the churches? Do you know anything about that so far?
What I can tell you is that recommendations have been made by the National Oversight Committee.
Let's not confuse your answer. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Buenos dias.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Yeah,
good morning.
This morning, I want to say congratulations, Belize. Congratulations for doing the right thing with COVID. I think Belize has done very great. Belize is doing well in addressing the problem presented by COVID-19. Unfortunately, some people get left out for various reasons. Some who apply do not meet the requirements. Others do not apply because they get the news or the information a little too late, and so on. It is obvious that the great majority of the Belizean people understand that Corona-19 is demanding a lot of sacrifice of every Belizean, and Belizeans are doing just that. The Belizean people have come to understand that they must make the sacrifice to avoid the disaster of COVID-19. We here in Belize are an example to the world how to face the challenge presented by the coronavirus. Belize has done great because the Belizean people decided to listen and to do what had been asked of them to do. I must say that I am proud of my Belizean people. Let us continue to sacrifice do the right thing and so defeat corona. If we look at the world, we find that mighty nations, rich nations, powerful nations are taking a brutal punishment from coronavirus. They are taking on them. God bless Belize. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. He said a lot.
Yes,
So,
of course.
When we talk about the opening when it comes to the restaurants and the churches, what discussion is that?
I can tell you that the National Oversight Committee, they make recommendations. You know, it goes to cabinet. Cabinet makes recommendation, and it goes back, I think, to the National Oversight Committee that they look at it, etc. I know, you know, the government, like I said, with the leadership of the Prime Minister, we are really looking at how we move, because we don't want to just say, all right, open everything and then we're back to normal. And then you notice one case, we have cases popping up again. We have to be responsible on these things. I know that discussions were centered around in terms of restaurants. I think the Prime Minister should maybe tomorrow have a press conference or sometime about very soon. You know, he usually have these press conferences during the week, and I think he will address the nation in terms of that. And, you know, every week we have seen a certain relaxation of some of the restrictions, you know. Not all, but we have seen it incrementally. And I think that this week, I think, will be no different. I think there will be certain relaxation. I think one of them was I think the discussion was centered around restaurants and hotels and that. So I think that will be announced more. So definitely we'll see some relaxation in that area. Likewise, I think you brought up the issue of churches, and I think a lot of people have asked in terms of when can they go back to church, you know, physically and things. Because, you know, some of the churches have gone live in terms of Facebook and sermons and stuff like that.
They want a congregation.
Yeah, you know, and I think that at this point in time, I think those discussions also have been discussed somewhat, and I think that they are looking at it. The amount of course, you know, you have churches of all sizes, so that's not something you could say there's not a rule that fits all. But therefore, I am sure that they are looking at it, and I'm sure that will open up quite soon. And you know, I think we need to hear from the Prime Minister sometime this week in terms of that. I know recommendations have been made to see how they could assist in that endeavor, or at best, you know, in terms of ensuring that it's not, we're not put ourselves at risk. You know, people want to go to church, you know, so. And it impacts all churches across this country. So these things are being looked at, I know. And I know that as we progress during this period, I know that as time progresses, we'll eventually begin to get back to normal. I think one of the important things for government at this point in time is looking at how our local economy, how we get that back on its feet. And I think once we can master that, then of course we will look at the external in terms of our borders and all of that, you know. But like I said, based on what is happening right now in terms of the United States, Mexico, Guatemala, and the rest of the world, I mean, that will dictate a large extent how we go about doing these things. But for now, I know there's every week you have seen relaxation in terms of some of the restrictions, and I think that will continue week in and week out, no?
Yeah, more relaxation coming in, Minister.
But it doesn't mean for us to relax regard neither, you know, and people must bear this in mind. Because sometimes when people say relaxation, they feel like could just go on. You know, we as Belizeans have to be responsible, and the government can only do so much in terms of its leadership, but the people must follow in the terms that the people must ensure that they are responsible. You know?
Yeah, when we talk about relaxation, you know, we say, Minister, we have to commend the Belizean people, like what the caller said, and yourself, also for using their masks, doing the social distancing. You know, you might have one or two persons who don't really care about it and they do their own thing. But then we have to commend the majority of Belizeans who are doing the right thing for all of us to be safe.
That's right, we have to, and I think it's a collective effort. It can't be just one group of people doing that and the other doing their own thing. It has to be collectively that we abide by the regulations that have been set out, by the restrictions. We have to collectively work together to you know, and cooperate with one another, cooperate with the government, because at the end of the day, trust me, the government is looking at how best we can move out of this, you know. And I think we have to be considerate. People across this country must be considerate, and for us to achieve the just objectives. No.
Yeah. Hello, good morning, mi buenos dias, Sugar City Morning Show. Good morning, bro.
Morning, Minister.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you? You all right to watch?
Yes, good. Right here on the talk show.
And I'm only calling to give you a big thanks for all the help that you have given to the people of Orange Walk East.
Yes, thank you.
I can tell you, right, you have never left or abandoned your people. That is what a true leader stands for. You are always there for us when we are in need. All right, Minister, thanks for everything.
All right, thank you, Carla. I appreciate that very much. No?
Yeah, nice, Carl. It's good when time people can show their appreciation. But I know you don't look for make you big up yourself and knock your chest, right? Because you help with your heart, right?
No, we are there, and I think it's important. I think it's especially at these times we have to reach out, and we have to do what we can with what we have. Because I've always think that in a day and time, certain people get taken care of, like people were qualified and that, but you got people who no, because of lack of information, because they move too slow, they get left out and they suffer. Yeah.
Yep. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I have a question, This pantry that's being given out, and the money that's being dispersed, it should have been, for the beginning, as I understood what the Prime Minister said, should have been for the people that lost employment first, right?
Right.
Tourist sector, and you name it, people that had unemployment and lost it. Then secondly, it should have given to people that were in need, And I don't think it went that way. The way I'm hearing phone calls that I didn't get, I'm employed, I didn't get, blah, blah, blah. Now, my question is this: how long will this pantry be, or this pantry being given, issued out? And how long will the money be dispersed, right? And how often will they get it? Will they need to reapply every time they need it, right? And who is scrutinizing this disbursement? Because as far as I'm concerned, the economy of the country is partially open. I would say construction started. The only thing that has not been started is tourism. But most of the other employments or jobs have been open, right? And here in the north, it was not fully closed because the cane industry was still working, right?
Right.
Me in Corazon and Orange Walk, the industry was still moving, right? And a lot of other employment here in Orange Walk were not closed, right? And I'm hearing a lot of people crying, I didn't get, I don't have. No. How many of these people that are being issued with food were employed? Because I think if they were not employed, how they were living, right? If you were employed and you lost employment, you lost income, I can understand that. But if you were not employed, or you're taking this situation for a ride, I mean, it begs the question, right? Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, Carla, definitely when you look at things, I think across this country people were impacted. In Orange Walk, yes, we had the cane industry that carried on, but then you had like the call centers that were closed, There had a number of businesses, hardware stores were closed, restaurants were closed, the Indian community in terms of those people who were selling clothes, all of those stores were closed. All stores were closed, and some of these businesses in the private sector either sent home their people without pay, some sent them with half pay,
some are getting holiday pay,
and some are getting a holiday pay one time, and say where how things muster from that. So it impacted everybody, and the discussion can go on in that arena, but definitely impacted. I think Orange Walk, a lot of people did feel the pressures, because once you impact these people, then the rest of the economy suffers too, because if you not got money, you know how to do this, or you're not going here, and all the restrictions, I think it impacted our economy here in Orange Walk a lot. And I do think that the question you're asking also is in terms of the financial assistance. Well, there's a committee that deals with that. I tell you, I can't give all the details because I myself don't know, because
you're not on the committee.
We are not on the committee, and they kept it non-political. That means they didn't want UDP to be involved directly for say we are decide who will get, none of that. They made an independent committee dealing with that aspect. And of course, the government has tried to gather resources to be able to assist these people. And the intention remains to assist those people who have been affected, who lost their employment. Because, believe it or not, you look at Orange Walk, you know how much buses leave from Orange Walk every day to go to Belize City because of jobs. So what impacts Belize City impacts Orange Walk. Likewise, all the call centers, both here in Orange Walk and in Belize City, were affected, and a lot of other jobs. The tourism sector affected a lot of our tour guides who are from Belize, from Orange Walk, who either worked during the cruise industry or in the tourism sector in Belize or in the San Pedro. A lot of people go to San Pedro, for construction and all of this. So everybody was impacted on this thing. The situation is, how do we ensure that the right people get the money? I think the government is doing its best, and that is why it asks people to apply. A lot of people have gotten that money. I think, if I'm not mistaken, about maybe 40,000 people don't get paid the first time, and they should now be receiving their second pay.
And that's different from the pantry, right?
And that is different from the pantry, because it's two programs. One, the financial assistance that is vetted, and then, because remember, the government has a tremendous task. They have to vet these things, because you ain't got people who don't need it, apply. People who they get paid, but they still want to collect and push in the application. So government has a tremendous task to vet these things. And then after that, it tries to sift through that and ensure people get their money. Then, of course, that is with the financial assistance. And once you apply first time and you have gotten it, then automatically you should be on the system and get it every 2 weeks. Of course, I've heard some people who say, well, I never get it the second week, or it's been a month now that I don't get another payment. I would want to think that if they need to call the numbers that are out there to inquire and to find out what the situation is. But remember, they are processing a lot more people, and so they have to look at how they ensure that these people get their money. And I don't think that's an easy task for whoever is doing and dealing with this. And also, I think that when you look at that financial program, it not come without glitches, I am sure. I mean, you're dealing with thousands of people, the vetting and all of this, the processing. And I will tell you, I have seen it, because you have people who come and say, well, you know what, I give a wrong bank number, how I could change it? You know what, my social security be wrong, or this. So you have not only the vetting of it, but also dealing with the mistakes that people have done in the application, etc. So, you know, that was a challenge.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. Morning, Jackie. Morning, Minister.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Well, I just call in to congratulate, first of all, Honorable Aragon on the exceptional work that he has been doing and continues to do here in the East. The provision of assistance that he has gotten to his people is incredible. When times of crisis is when you see the mettle of a leader. You will see what a leader has to offer in times of crisis. For example, I know for a fact that he has made thousands of dollars available from personal resources, not government, to his people in Orange Walk East, to ensure that there won't be hungry people, that there won't be someone that will be without something to eat. Distributing these food packages to those who need, and also to some who don't really need it. You know, and not one time have we seen that posted on a Facebook page or a post or anything to be knocking his chest or patting his back to self-congratulate. On the other hand, I've seen it on the other pages of the other guy that wants to be leader there. He gave away one time a little bit of food to his people, and then posted immediately on Facebook. That shows that he is not caring for the people. He cares for himself and what people think of him. Because when you want to do something charitable, you will do it, and don't expect anybody, and don't expect to be given thanks for it. You do it because you care, and that is what we have seen that Mr. Aragon has done. You give it out of the kindness of your heart. You don't expect people to be thanking you or to be congratulating you and telling you how beautiful you are, how nice you are. People will say that eventually because they are thankful for what you're doing. The other guys, they don't do it. We have seen this also in the greater leadership of our country, we have seen the ministers, and I know Minister Aragon is one, who gave up their salary, who gave up allowances, so that we can cope with this tragedy. We have not heard anything from the other guys in the blue camp. They get almost $1 million in salaries. We have not heard anything from them that they will forego even half of that, so that the people can assist. All you do is go on their airwaves and make a lot of noise and issue their press releases criticizing, having nothing good to offer. If you really want to make a difference, then you put your money where your mouth is, because they can easily say, why Johnny Brishani is a businessman. Does he really need his salary? Really? Does he really need his salary? You have others you have liars, attorneys in the other camp. Do they really need their salary? There are people out here who do good with their assistance, but they don't take time and say, well, I'm gonna give it up. They criticize our good UDP leaders when they take little actions and so. Look at the unions. The PUP will support the unions in going against the government when they want to do some changes with respect to salaries and salary increments and the gratuities. Man, for God's sake, man, you need to show that you are a leader, and that is what Minister Aragon has done here in the East. Not like that other fellow who goes and is crying now to the government to secure a bank overdraft. Man, that's a craziness. And Honorable Aragon, you are an example of a leader. We are proud of you. Continue doing what you're doing, sir. There is no reason why the people of Orange East will not be voting for you again to lead them and continue to lead them, sir. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you, Carla.
22 minutes after 8, Minister. People see their views and they react. But what you were saying about the persons, like if you apply, Elodio Aragon Jr. apply, and by mistake you tell me, by check, I don't have a bank account, I could use yours, and maybe I not tell you, yes man, you could use it. And one time the money comes
Pay
to
me
you, and I send
bounce
it,
back.
the system will reject it, right?
Yeah.
So these things happen.
It happens, and so like we were discussing, some of these glitches occurs naturally or because people just put it on the application. When it reach their challenges. So I can imagine the kind of issues the committee or the oversight committee, whoever is dealing with the issuing of these financial assistance has. It's not an easy thing, when you deal with a lot of people, and so it is a challenge. When you look at the food assistance, that is another program of the government. Again, that is being dealt with strictly by the Human Development Office. We don't have no input on that. We can't say recommend put this person. None of that. That is totally independent, and I will tell you that because I know for a fact, there's no way you go and influence any of these programs from the government.
They still got a boost program going on?
Well, the people are the boost is still going on, so people still getting stuff through boost. Okay. But in terms of the food assistance, definitely once you have gotten, does not mean automatically you won't get again. That is to assist people in thing, and government has to again sift through that because you have people in one family, 5 people apply. Yeah. And so the government has to ensure that it's not taken advantage of, because then it is going to dwindle on the little resources
and
that is available.
Right, the minister, what the delay starts on your application. If you say, well, I apply, you apply 5, I will live here, maybe 1 away, I get it. But then sometimes nobody get because they are seeing the same addresses, the same surnames, and so they are saying we have to question this and see what happened. And decide who will give.
So there's a lot of little issues on why the delays are there, etc. I tell you that they have a tremendous task to work through that, and I am sure that a lot of people have gotten their help. Yes, of course, some people fall through the cracks or have issues for whatever reason, but I am sure that the people are doing their best, and the monies that are being coming in, that is going towards these things, but it will take some time. And remember, it's budgeted for, so government is looking at how best to manage this thing with what they have.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning,
Mr. Aragon.
Yeah, good morning.
Mr. Aragon, I want to thank you for the good job you're doing. And you always there for us for the East. Because we always get Christmas memorials, Mother's Day memorials, and in this time of need, you're always out there. So thanks very, very much.
Sure, man. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, so
Thank
you
you.
okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
All right. Thanks for all the blessings you always send for you, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right,
You keep
thank
up
you.
the good work. Minister, like somebody is saying here, morning, Chakia Minister mentioned that there are some numbers to call to check for the COVID-19 relief funds, but all those numbers go to voicemail. No one gets through. But the
I know.
Honorable Boots Martinez said now the offices are open, so these numbers are not active again. So you need to go to the
So
office.
people could go there.
Go to the office.
Right.
And we have those human development office all over the country.
And Social Security, people have to check with them too for their pay. Or I don't know if it's through social, or I know there were some numbers that I saw on the COVID-19 application form where people would call. But I know, but I am saying that once they get the first payment, it should be automatic every 2 weeks. I don't see the reason why we have delays on that. I will definitely bring that up to the Minister Carla Barnett to see, for them to at least, to let her know that we have been getting calls in regards to that,
Do you believe, Minister, that there's only a glitch in the system, or we have solely financial delays, or the money is there?
No, well, I think what government has been doing is putting these monies together to ensure that we could look at and maybe budget for the next 5 months,
Okay, so
or
when they
6
approve
months.
you,
So, and
they
from
make
there-
sure that money is there for the remainder of time.
But it has to be managed, something where you can say, oh, we got this, so just give it to everybody we apply. It has to be looked at. There has to be a vetting process. There has to be a process in terms of how they distribute this money,
It's 29 minutes after 8. We'll be taking a break, and then we'll find out how the government they manage right now. No money to come in, government still have to pay out. Let's take a break, folks, and Minister Aragon and Robert Checky Usher will be back after these messages right here on North Television Channel 10.
6 cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush Franz, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
John Brisena says government needs to trim the fat. Let's take a minute to look at that fat.
Johnny Brisena receives a salary of $60,000 from the government to be the leader of the opposition and $84,000 for sports and community projects in his constituency. The People's United Party representatives receive about $993,000 annually from government to assist residents of their constituencies.
Since the COVID-19 state of emergency, the Prime Minister of Belize has given all his salary toward the relief efforts. The UDP ministers has given up a month's salary and allowances going forward. Johnny Brisena has not agreed to give up anything. The PUP representatives have not agreed to give up anything.
Leadership is about action, not words.
Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Corozal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Sartaneja?
Why is it that we have to take $50 million to invest in an area where we do not have a political directorate? We believe that as a government, we have to provide a service to all Belizeans.
Well, this for the village of Chunosh is a big advantage both ways. Sometimes when we got sickness, we got people sick at the clinic there, women. When we reach at the ferry, can't pass 45 minutes, have to wait. So now this road will benefit whole village, Sartinea and Copperbank. I'm part of Progreso too. Well, it's really important for us.
I know that our village is not so much developed with tourism because it's a remote village. And for that reason, we don't have a lot of tourism over there. But now with this upgrading of the road and the pavement of the road, I believe and I think that it will be much beneficial for us and for everybody.
More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize. Moving Belize forward. The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el balancín. Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche France.
The ongoing technological evolution constantly transforms the way we live our lives. The introduction of our national fiber network creates the opportunity for Belizeans to live the digital lifestyle. Today, Digi is proud to introduce Dana, Belize's first artificially intelligent automated assistant. Dana is the modern customer service experience. Available 24/7, Dana can provide Digi prepaid and postpaid customers with directory information, credit and plan balances, product and promo information, and more. Just talk to Dana. Want to check your credit balance? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, what's my credit balance?
New Digi promotions? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, any new Digi promotions?
Dial 113 for directory assistance and dial 119 to talk to Dana. Digi remains committed to introducing the latest in cutting-edge technologies, transforming Belize one technology at a time. Try Dana today.
Thank you for calling Digi Customer Service.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show right here live on North Television Channel 10 and also on East Radio 104.9. Good morning to everyone there in the East. Minister, the government is the people of Belize. The government right now, money not come in as it's supposed to. The biggest one has fallen, which is the tourism. Government has teachers to pay. They have public officers to pay. they have utilities and different things to pay. How the government they manage?
Well, definitely, I think the Prime Minister has basically, I think, from what I've heard over all his press conferences, he has always elaborated how they're doing in terms of getting resources from abroad, borrowing from central bank, etc. Curtailing on certain things. So basically, he's managing in terms of looking at how the government's coffers, in terms of how that money is spent. It is not without great and serious challenges, because finance is something like that. Right now, we have lost a lot in terms of the tourism industry. Yes, our local economy, like sugar and other stuffs, are there. To what extent that has impacted them, I'm not too sure, but I am sure that everything has been impacted one way or the other. Of course, it's about looking at getting our local economy back up. And of course, after that, we look towards the borders in terms of trade, which I think has not really been affected fully. But nevertheless, the tourism industry has been impacted. I think maybe we can get this call. Yeah.
Hello, good morning. Muy buenos días.
Yes, thank you, Minister. Mr. Patna again.
Good morning, Patton.
All right, sir.
So, how we are doing a good job today.
Yes, sir. Right here.
Hey, Minister, remember that time I gave you application of our application for becoming our medic and our EMT, emergency medical technician. I don't see what part, anybody they contact me to make it for help.
Yeah, you'd have to check with Department of Health Services and see if they can use you, but definitely you'd have to check with them. You want volunteer, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, well, I think it's best to check with the people at the hospital and things like that, no?
Maybe you could recommend someone.
Yeah, well, you could go if they're for volunteer. You don't need no recommendation. Just go them and say you're the volunteer. Should
After the clinic where we're supposed to be open by Louisiana.
Well, that again, right now, how would I put it to you? We have to see what happened after this COVID, because all the resources, government's budget right now is basically, Capital 2 spending and all of that. We don't know where it stands. Yeah.
By the way, you know that clinic let me apply a whole lot of work to accommodate all the way down, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, then they shall stop make people want to go all the way that
hospital.
Right.
Right, sir.
Anyway, we can focus on it and see how
Yes, we have to, sir. We have to.
All right, Brother Patton. So yes, Minister.
Thanks for the call, Mr. Patton.
Yeah. So the government, is it a huge amount when it comes to payments from government to pay workers and teachers?
Yes, of course. Government has not retrenched anybody. I think when this thing really started, I know government sent out a memo from the Ministry of Finance stating, listen, there's no new hiring. Even if the post is available, nobody's to hire anybody new. We're going to stay with what we have, and from there see how we move on. I know government has said no retrenchment, but of course, you have the challenges, the increments and all of these things, which government is looking to say, we can't afford increments, which you have to understand. I understand fully well. At least I would want to say that everybody must cooperate in these times. It's challenging times, and I understand both sides. People say, well, I want immigrant, or I want this and that, but listen to me. The either or, because it is only so much money our government has. And I'll tell you, the tourism sector has impacted this country because we make millions of dollars off of the tourism. Our trade is now back, I think, getting back on stream. I'm sure that we have been affected severely, maybe last month in terms of revenue or the month before. So there are challenges, but I'm sure that with the fiscal management in terms of the finances of this country, I'm sure we'll be able to come out on top with time, no?
Hello, good morning. Muy buenos días.
Good morning, Mr. Chake.
Good morning.
Good morning, Minister.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
I don't want you to give me help, man. We need to sell tacos, man.
Yes, I hear you loud and clear, sir. I've been every cabinet I bring that topic up all the tacos. When will they open tacos for the small vendors and stuff like that?
You say?
Yes.
I depend on that.
I know, sir, but you know you could sell from your home, right? On things. I know they're not the same, but yeah, but I know, I understand you fully well, sir, and I know Orange Walk is the home of tacos, and every cabinet I bring it up and they tell me you have to wait because
there's a tacos
you
for the
know.
one to go, man.
That's true. But I know, sir, I hear you loud and clear.
Right, I want to come on, go the creek, take police fishing at the creek, and I hear you can go there and they stop there. No, are they stop now?
I know, sir. Well, that I if Checky could tell you, I just told him this morning. I actually literally text the Prime Minister asking him to look into that situation, sir, with the fishing, you know.
Thank you very much, Carla.
You're welcome. Have a nice day.
Okay, sure, sir. You know,
so the it tight when it comes for the budget right now for the.
Yes, of course it'll be tight because remember, right now you have the super bond too. You know, people have to understand this
We
thing.
still have to pay that.
We still have to pay the super bond.
You can't get no.
We have to pay the super bond. Well, you know, of course, the Prime Minister will try to see if because you only could pay what you have, Checky. If I owe you and I don't have the money for pay, how will I pay you? You have to wait out for me, right?
Yes.
And so the whole fact is that right now the finances of this country is dependent on how much this country generates.
How much money?
And we've been impacted severely in terms of the tourism sector.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, Chike.
Morning.
Minister,
Yeah, morning.
you know what? I discovered something else now. Where Manuel Martinez?
Oh, Mr. Martinez is on dialysis.
And you say, I mean, no, that like me. That thing, I wonder everybody they have to wait a man there.
Yeah.
Smart man, I mean, miss that.
Yeah, he depends on dialysis, man. So he can't come to the show right now, no. But we pray for her, you know, and hope, you know, cause you know this COVID thing they're wrong right now, and when they on that kind of treatment,
Yeah,
they
you
have to stay, no.
You have to mind yourself, yeah.
Sorry for her. And when Pastor Ali come on, like the other lady way.
Now where you the girl from?
From Cairo.
Oh, from Cairo. All the way from Cairo.
Yeah,
we're bringing
Pastor.
Pastor Ann next week.
Yes, okay then.
So you're still good to Cairo?
Yeah, no, the rain or what? You know the rain, yeah.
No, right your hat.
Right your hat. We got good weather here. Keep away the corona.
You don't come out.
Yeah, you stay in, no?
Yeah.
How things stand at Cairo?
Things are right now, boy, everybody. Good right now, everything all right.
Okay, well, we're glad to hear that,
Yes,
man. Well, just stay safe then.
Okay, man. Hope Manuel feel good.
All right, good.
All right, sure, ma'am.
Okay, then, right.
Yeah.
Take care.
So, Minister, like
Yeah,
this
so
big
it's-
chunk
yeah.
money coming from the tourism.
That
right
is
now.
affecting. I mean, you know, it is affecting the monies where government have to spend.
Now,
Remember,
how
with
much you have to pay for the super bond?
well, the super bond. I tell you the truth, I don't have the.
That's a high millions.
Yeah, of course. We spend a lot of money. We spend a good amount of millions, couple millions. I'd say at least in the tens of millions of dollars.
Wow.
So and those are bullet payments we come over, we have to pay. You know, so all of these things are impacting our economy. I am glad to know that we are slowly getting back at least the local economy.
Yes.
And as soon as that is done, then we look to the external. But definitely, you have to manage all these things with the funding that comes, the monies that are spent. Because remember, government still has to find money like for spend for the medical gears and all of these things, the ventilators that were needed. A lot of expenses out there. You know, a lot of things that comes up that they had to do to ensure that they look after the safety and security of this country. One thing I'm very proud of this country, you know, is that we have a resilient people. And I mean, during this time, I will tell you, when you look at the food supply in this country, I think we are far better off than many other countries in the Caribbean. Because you look, we got with poultry, we have with beef, we have with pork, we have with the vegetables. I mean, we were able to self-sustain. No, we were able, and that is a big plus. I think that is a big plus in terms of the entire resilience of the country. I mean, and I'm proud of that because some countries don't have that kind of thing. That when then dependent on the imports of these basic commodities. And I think we, to a large extent, I could say Belize, and I think it speaks volumes of the farmers, people who are involved in these things, the Mennonite community, etc. You know, and I during this whole period, to a large extent, I've seen the support from the Chinese community, the Indian community. So you could see people are coming out and trying to reach out. And I think collectively, this is what makes us strong as a people, you know, and as a nation. And I think with the good leadership of the government, etc., and the support from the people, I can't see nothing other than us moving forward steadily and moving on the right foot and the right path and progress towards dealing with this COVID and coming out of it intact. Like I said, you can't, after this thing is all said and done with the COVID, I believe, of course, we got expenses, we got all of that, but that will be managed. But the fact is, at this point in time, it is a challenge at this period where we are in terms of how we manage the finances and that. And I think everybody must understand these things.
You are very optimistic in what you say, Minister, and I hear you and I feel you. But we can only get there with the cooperation of our community.
That's right.
What's your message to these people who are still trying to cross the borders, to go and do contraband or just to go cross and have a good time and then coming back into the country? That affects us.
Well, definitely it affects us because it puts the entire country at risk. Because when then people go cross or they smuggle, etc., they're not worried about they put mask and that or whatever. Then just to try to get cross and do what they have to do, but it endangers this entire country. And I do believe that when you look at all of that, get this.
Hello, good morning, muy buenos días.
Yeah, na Patton again, boy.
Yeah, Patton.
What you hear about the opposition from electoral committee?
Well, I don't really know. I think the leader of opposition said that they wasn't asked. They never asked them, no?
All right.
But
then the government needs to ask them.
Yeah. Very true.
I hear you.
Yes, that's true. Because nobody asked, we decided,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So Minister, these people go over there, they bring things, and it's an illegal crossing.
And it carries a serious penalty right now, so they are taking tremendous risk. And I think a lot of people understand that, and I think a lot of the illegal smuggling has, to a large extent, ceased, though. It has not stopped. But you got some people who are careless, we're going cross. Yeah. But my thing is to Belizeans is, listen, this is a good time for us to buy locally, man, to support our local economy, because I'll tell you, if you look at the statistics and the amount of money that is spent across in the borders, like in Chetomal, tremendous millions of dollars,
Yes, yeah.
we spend every year as Belizeans.
That's true.
And I think right at this point in time, right now we need for support our Belizean goods, we need for support our Belizean products, our farmers out there, everything we supposed to look towards now, buying internally. Because at the end of the day, yes, we might say we can do better because we can't go nowhere. But the fact remains that I think at this point in time, your dollar is best put to use by staying here and being used in this country alone. So yeah. I do think that definitely it is important for us as Belizeans to spend here in Belize. And
let me go through
as we move the economy,
Text messages, we have a lot, and I think I'll read all. They say, they say, good morning, my daughter is in the hospital in Cayo where she attends school and wanting to know if I can go see her or what would be the procedure. We would stay at a hotel if we can visit.
Yes, of course, they can go. Okay. They can go for anything for emergency purposes, etc. You can travel. And I think right now, definitely people can move about with a purpose, Yeah. And health is one such purpose. So.
Next one, it says, is April deposit my last like it lasted? I will just be getting May and June payments for instead of 6 payments. Will I get, as the Minister Aragon, so I could know? If you're not coming yet, I don't believe that you will lose it, no?
No, well, yeah, I don't think you'll lose it. I mean, if you apply and you never get approved until 2 weeks and somebody get one before you, I don't think they appear retroactive neither,
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning, muy buenos días.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
I totally agree with supporting the Belizean economy. 100% plus 100. But let's face the fact, right? Farmers, right now we're importing potatoes, we're importing everything right now from Mexico. Big importation, right? I think the government, I think government, whoever is in power, need to put emphasis in the farmers, right? We were putting too much emphasis in tourism, and we forgot farmers. So the emphasis is supposed to be put in with the farmers so that they can support the tourism industry. Right now, the importation of all our vegetables are coming from Mexico, right? So how can we support our local economy when we're not self-sufficient as yet, as far as I'm concerned. Because if we're importing potatoes from Mexico, we're importing cabbages and everything, broccoli, everything from Mexico right now. So how can we still support our local economy when governments are not supporting the farmers? We need to support our farmers so that we can have the basic first, right? And by supporting the farmers, then we support the tourism industry, because the farmers are the ones that feed our country. So I think the emphasis is supposed to be given to farmers right now, and don't give too much emphasis right now on tourism. Tourism will be dead for a while for us right now. International tourism will be dead for a while. I say probably 1 year, 2 years, right? So let us put our emphasis right now on the farmers, right? Get irrigation system, help the farmers, right? With technology and finance, so that they can produce and we can export. Instead of import, we can export, right? Right now, as we speak right now, you go to any supermarket right now, the sugar is about at 75 cents a pound. And sugar shouldn't be at 75 cents a pound. I think sugar is supposed to be at 60 cents a pound. As far as I can understand, the last raise the gas to sell sugar is a control price. Be at 60 cents. And all shops are selling for 75 cents a pound. And we're not short of sugar. We have our sugar. We produce it, right? So the emphasis needs to be given to farmers. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we have our next caller coming in there, Minister, before we comment on that one. Hello, good morning. Sugar
Good morning, Cheke.
Good morning.
I just want to say a few words concerning the minister.
Go ahead.
I am so happy that he is working along with his constituency and trying to do his most out best to serve his people. And also, I like the way how he is telling all his future vision that he has towards, the future for the people of Belize and also for the country. And I'm so glad about, the project that he has been embarking on, which is this Louisiana School, the building, and then the kind of field, and many other projects that he has, putting all his efforts and all his hard work, and like I said, his vision, and to accomplish his mission. So I just want to congratulate Minister Lago for his hard work, and to keep on his hard work, his good work.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Carla.
Somebody said, buenos días, tengo una pregunta para el ministro. ¿Se siempre va a ayudar con el School Assistance Program?
Well, the school assistance, and that's a very good question. I think I'd like to answer that before we get to the first caller. The school assistance, government has always spent tremendous amount of monies in terms of supporting people for school assistance, financially towards the tuition of their child going to school. At this point in time, I don't know where we stand with that. The Ministry of Finance, I think just yesterday in Cabinet, Minister Farber discussed that issue, and he needs to to see what is there in the Ministry of Finance, because I will tell you, the budget that was there, all of that, to a large extent, we don't know how much on that money is available for such a program. So we have to wait. It's not an answer that I will say we don't get no help. I think we will, but to what extent and how much is all dependent on how government finances stand at this point in time. And I tell you, I don't know for sure how that's done, and I think the Minister of Finance have to, along with in terms of the Minister of Education, must sit and see what can be done, if anything can be done at this point in time. Because I will tell you, we have a small economy, and not like we got billions of dollars saved up and things like that. It doesn't operate that way. So definitely with that, like I'll tell people, first I need to know what will come from the Ministry of Education. Based on that, then I will know exactly how we can assist people in terms of that, because that is a program that has been ongoing for years now, and it goes out and it reaches out, and I do think it supports a lot of people, and definitely I would hope that this still continues. But like I said, at this point in time, several people have asked me, and I've told them, listen, I have to wait, because I can't tell you bring the bill and we look at it and then no money has come or something. So as soon as I know, then I will let people know, and so we could see what we can do. But that is where it is right now with that check. And that not only happens here in Orange Walk, this is for the entire country. Okay.
The caller that called about the importation of the fruits and vegetables.
No, I agree with him in terms that definitely we must look at the farmers. Yes, we do import. I know there are permits that go out and people get permits to bring in vegetables, etc., on a monthly basis. How do we compete with that? I think we have to start with our farmers to try to get them, like he said, the technology, the support. But at the end of the day, farming is like a private. To me, I look at it that yes, it is important for government to support, but a lot of it has to do with private investment. I mean, it's a business like any other business out there. Yes, it is important because it feeds the nation and it could be a great exporter. And I do believe that government should support that. I know government has found. I know they made available a number of funds available to help small farmers, but I think these things have to go even farther in supporting our farmers. At this point in time, with the government revenues and that, I don't know if there are programs that are readily available for that, but definitely I believe in the very short term, that must be an area that government must focus on to support farmers to get up to a certain level, because at the end of the day, we have the land. There's no way that Belize is blessed with the land, but it is a matter of supporting the farmers that they can get to producing the kind of vegetables that the people of this country can use. And I think that is where the challenge lies. Of course, tourism has been a steady and stalwart of the economy of this country. I foresee it will continue to be as soon as we get over this situation. But like he said, I think farming and the vegetables, etc., is an important aspect on that. And I think that is one of the weaknesses we have in terms of our food production, because with poultry it's good. You see they sell chicken cheap after that. We got with pork meat, we got with beef, etc. But I do think, and I understand, and I listen to the call, and I agree with him, we have to focus on that area. I think that is an area that government must look at. And I think I know in cabinet we've always sat and Minister Holtz have always been asked to listen, let us see where we can get from our people first, and then you look at outside. But it is a challenge too, because people when they buy vegetables, they want the good kind of vegetables in terms of the size, quality, etc. So our farmers will have to come up, and of course it will come with some support from government, but it is also a private investment that has to be made on the part of the farmers. But like I said, it is all about striking a balance. And I do believe that it needs to be looked at.
Okay, Dala, cool, thanks.
But it is an important aspect to look at.
Minister, we want to go through some more of the text messages there.
Yeah, man,
because
sure.
Because I have a lot to come in, and I know, like when we don't read the message. Yeah, I say, Patton, again, I know that we have to feed, we have to feed our people.
Yeah.
And let's see if we have some more here. He said, good morning, Minister. Do you know anything about what's happening at the bus terminal? Reports are it was closed this morning and the buses had to park outside. Maybe you are not the Minister of Transport, but you are the only minister here in Orange Walk.
Well, I'm not aware, Cheke, any issues. I'll have to look into that and find out.
You look into these things even if
yes,
it's not
of
your
course,
ministry?
of course. I get, Cheke, people call me from PG, believe it, check into this, we need that, because the people know me personally and people want me to look. And in Orange Walk, of course, I have to try to look into all these issues, But definitely, like I said, I have no information in terms of the bus terminal, but I will have to look into it locally and see what's happening here, If not, call the Minister of Transport, Mr. Castro.
Okay. Somebody also texted earlier, but remember what's the content of the text. It comes all the way from the south. They are saying that, Minister, please tell us what's our fate when it comes to buying butane, because they said some Southern Choice gas or Zeta gas or something down there, they said that then they closed up.
Yeah.
Where that put them people
Well,
in the whole country?
Right now, Cheke, I don't have a clear answer. All I can tell you is that in cabinet it was discussed, and I think Ms. Tracy Panton was to find out exactly when, because the transition this month should have taken place between the National Gas Company and the oil importers. The switch where from here on the National Gas Company would be supplying butane to this country. That switch, to a large extent, I don't think has happened as yet. I think National Gas Company says they are ready. The other companies say they're not ready yet because they don't run out on the fuel and the need for import to another set. So I don't know really where it stands. All I can tell you is that the Ministry of Economic Development has been asked to look into it, Minister of Trade, so that we can find out where we stand. But definitely, it is a transition, and with every transition, you have only little glitches you have to work out, and then things carry on their way.
Yeah, but can you confirm that if there is glitch and there is no butane, that government will definitely step in to make sure that
Of course, and and that is the point I was going to get to. Without a doubt, government, if they have to give a permit for the all importers to bring gas butane because the national gas company is not ready, then that will happen. You know, like I said, I'm not the minister. That's why I don't have all the specific details. I am sure that will also be made public as soon as those information and things are worked out.
But they're not stay without the butane. Yeah, yes, good morning. Yeah, hit me then. Go. Yeah.
Hey, but I'm going to just buy the fuel for national.
What you say?
Buy the fuel for national, I don't.
Yeah. Well, you know these things have protocols, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. But some minister, the government, things that are happening in the government, one definitely
because
sure people
stay without butane, and you know the thing is that just a transition taking place. I know the cost, people want to know what will be the new cost in terms of that, and remember this will be a controlled price. The whole objective of the national gas company is that, all right, it can be just like your regular and super fuel. And diesel fuel.
Yeah.
That it is controlled. That means government knows exactly what the butane cost was when it was landed here in Belize. So they can't come and say that this and that. Government knows because government deals with that. So when they know what comes in, that is when they say, all right, so this we'll set the price at this, so that when you go buy butane, nobody could tell you that so it is a controlled price. You know this is the price for butane.
I can recall sometimes when they announce the prices of the butane, minister, they say in Corozal it will be one price, in Orange Walk, and when it comes to the south it will be a next price. I don't know if because of transportation.
Yes, well, that just like fuel. Fuel, if you notice, the cost that is set is like in Belize City, but by the time it gets out there, you have a smaller cost due to transportation, but that is all controlled likewise. So in terms of butane, that will be the same situation.
So if they say Orange Walk at $5 and PG at $5.25, it has to be $5.25.
Yeah, once the price is set, that's it. You know, and like I said, right now the only thing is like I said, I'm not privy to every little detail in terms of the national gas company, in terms of the transition process, what is taking place, and that I don't have that information.
Yeah.
I know that will be made available to the public very soon. I think this week or soon you'll hear about it, because I think definitely they have to announce a new price, you know, and when national gas will basically begin to, because I think from what I've heard, national gas said they already have butane in the country, but it is just that crossover and for things to stabilize and move forward. So I think that will happen. And today I will check with Ms. Tracy to find out exactly where we stand with that. But okay. I am sure that will happen, and definitely government will not allow that we not have butane. So, you know, if they have to extend the license in terms of a month more for the oil importers to bring in fuel, that if that needs to be done, I think it will be done. Whatever it takes for people to have their butane will be looked at.
What happened to them people, the retailers, minister, like somebody? They got a truck, they live in a village, they got a truck, they usually get butane for sale, they got people live in Belize City, about and they get truck. They will still be able to get gas from the national company and go about and sell?
The national gas company will only be the importers, that's all.
So they're not the sell?
Then they will not be selling locally and things like that. So you'll still have the intermediate people who are the distributors, in terms of people who would go and buy so much fuel, bring it, and then they resell it, retail it. So, you know, all that is changing right now.
When it comes to the depots, like the depots, we have depot here in Orange Walk and different places. They must still buy from the national company.
Yes.
Maybe they're not deliver, but they will still be able to buy from the national gas company and still keep on selling, right?
Yes. That is the whole intention, because right now, all that is happening is that who imports the butane.
Oh, okay.
You know, from the old importers, it's a new importer that brings it in.
Well, Minister, we are at 7 minutes after 9 o'clock. Usually when you the time fly, we totally realize, because you know have so many things to discuss, and we still not reached everything that we need to discuss.
Time fly. What? 7 past 9.
Since you're here this morning, the hotels will be opening to locals, as you said, and I understand some restaurants in the hotels might be opening as well. Your closing remarks on some of the points we have discussed this morning, and probably some other points that we didn't touch.
Well, Checky, my closing remarks for this morning, I'd just like to say that first of all, I want to big up all our frontline workers, especially the nurses, and I think this week is Nurses Week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And so I want to take this time to big up all our nurses here, especially in Orange Walk.
I believe it was Teachers Week as well, no? Something with
Teachers Week? I don't know about Teachers Week, but I know it was Nurses Week, and I just want to big them up for all the work they have been doing and continue to do. Like I said, especially to our people here in Orange Walk, because the dedication, the sacrifice, the commitment, dedication to ensure that they are there day in and day out working, especially during this period of COVID-19 where the fears are great and all of these things. I want to commend all our nurses, all our health practitioners, all our people who work within the health system. I want to big you up today and tell you thank you, and that this nation salutes you on the work that you have done and continue to do for the people of Belize, And of course, apart from that, Checky, I just want to say, definitely, I am confident that this country, with the resilience of the people and the cooperation and that community spirit that we have, where we can come together under such a tremendous a task and threat from COVID-19, we can come together as a people. I am confident that along with the government and the good work and leadership of the government, we will move forward. We will get over this. Yes, we have taken a lick on the tourism sector, but I'm sure that will come back with due time. Like the Carla said, we have to look at farming and all of these things. These are the kind of things the government must look at. But apart from those things, I do think that we have to be proud to know that we are 1 out of 12 countries across the globe, across the world, who can say we don't have a case at this point in time. We want to keep it that way. But the only way we can keep it that way is if everybody takes on this responsibility to ensure that we don't put ourselves at risk. That means we're not going to try cross the border where we, to keep our distance, to keep the social distancing, the mask on and these things, It is being done for a reason, especially as we begin to lift some of these restrictions where people begin to get back into the norm. I know a lot of people are getting back to work, and we ask for everybody to cooperate so that we can continue to move this nation forward. Yes, there are challenges out there, serious challenges financially. Let no ghost fool you. There are challenges out there the government must deal with. But together, I think if people understand and are able to work together, I don't see how we can't overcome these things. I know the government, the Prime Minister especially, has a tremendous burden in balancing the finances. I'm confident that he can do so. But we have to cooperate with the government. We have to cooperate with the Prime Minister and say, we understand, and this is the way we have to go. I mean, there's nobody in this country who can't say that COVID-19 has not impacted their lives. It has, whether financially or otherwise, it has impacted people. And as we move forward, I think that we must be conscious that the restrictions will be lifted, but we must also be responsible to ensure that we carry on as safely as possible. And I am confident that with the leadership of the government at this point in time, we will be able to see as we progress how we begin to open up things and get this country back on track and move forward for this 2020, and beyond. So definitely, I just ask people to continue to do the great work, and I salute all of you all as Belizeans for where we are at this point in time. I mean, nobody asked for COVID-19, but it is here, and we have dealt with it. We have been able to manage it as best as possible. And I am confident we will overcome all the challenges that has been brought upon us by COVID-19. And of course, I just want to say that, Checky, it's always a pleasure for me being here, and I look forward to being here next week again.
Good.
So we
Wednesday,
discuss. Right? That's right. So we can discuss the issues. And like I said, every week I ask that people tune into the Prime Minister's press conference. I am sure he'll have one here this week, and stay in tune,
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Minister. It has been a pleasure. You answered a lot of our viewers and radio listeners' concern today. I want to big up my great friend, Mr. David Villanueva. Good morning, Dav. I remember all the great days with Walt and the late Jenkins and everybody. We used to have some great times. This show repeats at 8 o'clock tonight, right here on this same station. We have the repeat of the Channel 7 News, 12 o'clock today. And the live news at 6. We'd like to thank Raheem who tuned in. Good morning to our folks there in LA, to Robert, Miss Olive, to Doc, and Mark, the rest of the crew. Everybody tuning in. Our viewer there in Florida. Good morning to you. New York. Everybody, Chicago, good morning. They are viewing us right here today. They sent messages. But we like to thank you once again. And folks, Robert Checker Usher will be back right here tomorrow morning, if the good Lord so will. Have yourself a wonderful day. And we see you right here from Norte Television Channel 10.
Sugar City Morning Show.